Hey everyone, I'm Shelly and today I'm here to do a book tag. I'll be doing the Bookish Beginnings tag. This tag was originally created by Lauren from Reads and Daydreams and I was tagged by Brandy from I Ramble Randomly. So let's get on with the question. Question 1. Tell us what you loved to read as a child. Now I don't remember too much about my childhood and the books that I read. I just remember really loving to read, but the book that still sticks to me would be, I think it's just like one little tiny book. I don't think it was like a series or anything, and that would be The Ankle Grabber. I love that book. I don't think I found it scary or anything like that. I just found it really fun, and it was kind of my introduction to kind of scary stories, so I think that's kind of where it all started. After that, the book kind of series or collection that I read on my own would be Goosebumps. I love Goosebumps to this day. Whenever I go to like a secondhand store or anything like that, I would always search the book section for a Goosebumps because I don't want to buy them new. I want to buy them used to add to my collection. I don't know why. I just like them when they're used for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, I love Goosebumps. And then I think after that I read a bit of Fear Street, but not as much as Goosebumps. And Fear Street is another collection of books by R.L. Stine. And it's sort of like a step up from Goosebumps, but I don't think I read too many of those. Question 2. What was the first adult fiction you tried to or want to read? I don't really kind of remember if the books I read were adult or young adult. I think when I was a little younger, I would borrow books from the library and most of them would be adult. Like, there was this one and it was kind of like historical fiction that I tried to read. I don't remember what it's called, but it had like a purple cover and it was about like a group migrating from one place to another and the whole story set on a boat. Yeah, it was very graphic. I don't know why I read that when I was really young. But the adult fiction type stuff that I do remember reading and I still love would be Briar Rose by Jane Yolen. It's a historical fiction set kind of during World War II, I think, or after World War II, something like that. It's about this journalist and she goes through her grandmother's things after the grandma passes away, and it's really cool because it has like the Sleeping Beauty fairy tale kind of weave into it without it being a retelling, and it's awesome. If you guys haven't read that, you definitely should because it's great. Question 3. What was the classic book that you read not because of school? I don't really remember reading a lot of popular classics when I was in school. For some reason my class didn't get to read things like Frankenstein or any Shakespeare or anything like that, which I thought was kind of weird. But a few years ago, I think, no, at the start of this year, seems like ages ago, I read Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte for the first time, and I absolutely love that classic. That kind of made me want to read more classics because before then I thought classics were really hard to get into, but Jane Eyre isn't hard at all to get into. It's basically like a modern contemporary, which I thought was really interesting since it was written in the 1800s. Question 4. Tell us about a book that made you realize a new favorite genre or writing style. Well, the book that made me realize a new favorite genre would be Briar Rose, as I mentioned earlier, and it made me realize that I really enjoy historical fiction, mainly World War II historical fiction or anything to do with like kind of 1920s, 1930s, 1940s type stuff. I just love reading about them, and And the kind of book that made me really love a certain writing style would be Neil Gaiman. I think he's very unique in his writing style. If you guys have read any of Neil Gaiman's works, you would know what I'm talking about, but I love that type of and I know some of his books are considered fantasy or urban fantasy, but it also has this kind of fairy tale-esque magic realism type feel to it, which I really enjoy. So yeah, that's kind of the writing style I love to read. Question 5. What was the first literary prize winner that you read or want to read? Well, I don't know if I've read any kind of prized books or anything like that. I don't usually pay attention to those type of stuff, but the book that I know has won a prize of some sort and I really want to read is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I know that it's historical fiction, I know that it's set in World War II, and those type of stuff is definitely right up my alley, so I really want to read that sometime soon. Question 6. What was the first piece of translated fiction that you read or want to read? Well, I was born in Australia, so I think my first language was English, but obviously I speak Indonesian with my parents, and when I was a lot younger I did live in Indonesia for about 6 years or something like that, so I did read a lot of kind of Indonesian translated books, but at the same time I did read a lot of translated to English types books, so I think that would be the first translated fiction that I read. I can't remember any of the names of the books right now because I don't think I have them anymore. But the translated book that I do really want to read at the moment would be The Boy with the Cuckoo Clock Heart. I can't remember who it's by, but it's a French book that was translated into English, and so I really want to read that because I know there's a movie and I don't really want to watch the movie until I read the book, so I want to pick that up sometime soon. And last but not least, question 7. Tell us about why you started BookTube and what it was like to film and upload your first video. Well, to be honest with you guys, I actually started BookTube solely because I wanted to kind of build up my confidence. I don't know how that makes sense because all I'm doing is talking to myself in front of a camera in a empty room, so it's not like I'm talking to anyone, but I thought it would work and I think it has a little bit. I don't know, you guys tell me if it has worked with my confidence and all that, but yeah, that was kind of the first thing that I thought stop, but yeah, that was kind of the first reason that I wanted to start BookTube. Uploading it was pretty nerve-wracking. I think I tried to block those types of memories out, but I watched back my first few videos and they were so awkward. They probably still are awkward, but yeah, they were a lot worse at the start. So that is it for this tag video. I'm going to tag some people now. I'm going to tag GirlReading, ABasketCaseyReads, and Chelsea Martin. I will leave any related links down below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys next time.